Does it have to be a perfect rectangle? No. Okay, now, it says a total of 2 yards of fabric is used to make 5 identical pillows. Well, how much is that whole rectangle worth? 2 yards. So this whole thing is worth what? 2 yards. So I'm just going to put a 2 up here. Okay, now, if the whole thing was worth 2 yards, how many times do we have to split it? Or how many pillows are we splitting it between? 5. So you need to have how many boxes in that rectangle? 5. So draw them. Can anybody tell me what my division problem would be for this? Well, What would my division problem be? What would I say? Ben? 5 divided by 2? You're telling me that we have 5 yards of fabric and dividing it 2 times. Is that right? Do we agree with that? No? What is our division problem? Say it. 2 divided by 5. Boys and girls, we have 2 yards of fabric. And how many times did we have to divide it? 5 times. Now, how would I put 2 divided by 5 as a fraction? 2 over 5. Is this an improper fraction? Is this fraction good? It's good. It's a proper fraction. What would it be if it was an improper fraction? It would be 5 over 2. The big number would be on top and the small number would be on bottom, but this one's not. So, a total, it says how much fabric is used for each pillow? Well, how much? 2/5. Let's check it and see. To check, if I were to come over here and check, how would I do that to check? What would I do? Not multiply. I would add how many times? 5 times. I would add 2/5 5 times. Two plus 2 is 4. Plus 2 more is, plus 2 more is, plus 2 more is 10. So this is equal to what? 10/5. Now, if we were to take out and make this a proper fraction, what would we get? 2. So is our answer of 2/5 correct? So each one of these boxes is worth how much? 2/5. What would be our label? 2/5 what? Yards. Very good. Everybody got it? Okay. Number 2. An ice cream shop uses 4 pints of ice cream to make 6 sundaes. How many pints of ice cream are used for each sundae? Well, what do I need to do first? What's the very first thing I need to do? Draw my rectangle, so draw it. Now that I've drawn my rectangle, how much is this whole rectangle worth, Kalia?
4.
Yeah, it's 4. It's worth 4. Because there's 4 pints of ice cream, right? Now, how many times do I need to split these 4 pints of ice cream, Nevaeh? 6 times. So how many squares do I need to have inside this rectangle? Huh? 6. 5 lines, 6 squares. One, two, three, four, 5. Oopsies. We're going to act like these are equal. Sorry, my squares got a little wonky. Okay, so they were divided 6 times. So what would my division equation be? Praiselyn?
It would be 4 divided by 6.
4 divided by 6. She's right. And how would we write that as a fraction, Trayvon? 4 over 6. So what are we saying each of those squares is worth? 4 over 6. But let's go over here and check before I fill in all those boxes. How do I check? Repeated addition by adding 4 over 6. How many times? 6 times. What is 6 times 4? Because we wrote 4 how many times? 6. So what is 6 times 4? So this is really equal to 24 over what? 6. Now if we were to do that, change that improper fraction, what would go inside and what would go outside? Yep, 24 would go inside. 6 would go outside. How many times can 6 go into 24? 4 times. Were we correct? So how much is each Sunday going to get? 4/6. 4/6 of a pint, 4/6 of a pint, 4/6 of a pint, and 4/6 of a pint. So what would my label be? Pints. Because look how many pints of ice cream are used for each Sunday. So my label can't be aliens, because we're not talking about aliens, are we? We're talking about what? Pints. Got that? Okay, moving on to number 3. An ice cream shop uses 6 bananas to make 4 identical sundaes. How many bananas are used in each sundae? Use a tape diagram to show your work. What do I need to draw first? Draw it. Now, somebody raise your hand and tell me how much this whole rectangle is worth. Isaac? The whole thing is worth 6. How many times am I going to have to split this rectangle, though, Kaden? Huh? Huh? Look at your problem. How many times am I going to have to split this rectangle? We just used the number 6, so what do we have left? 4. So I need to split it between how many Sundays? 4. Now, my division equation. What is my division problem? What is my division problem, Colt? 6 divided by 4. My fraction, which is my next part, Blessing. What? 6/4. Yeah, you're right. Be confident in your answers. Y'all are right. Be confident in those answers. Even if they're wrong, I want you to be confident. Okay? 6/4. Now, I have a problem. 6/4 is what? It's improper. So what do I need to do? I need to divide. Well, which number goes on the inside and which one goes on the outside, Malachi? Which one goes on the inside and which one goes on the outside of our division problem right here? 6/4. Perfect. He got it. 6 goes on the inside, 4 goes on the outside. Now, Praiselyn, what do I need to do here? How many times does 4 go into 6? 1 time. And 1 times 4 is 4. So 6 minus 4 is 2. So now I need to put this equation or this mixed number back together. Abby, how would I put this back together? How many whole times did it go in? How many whole times did it go in, Abby? 1. So it went in 1 whole time. And then how much did I have left over? 2/4. Very good, Abby. What is an equivalent equation that's smaller, or an equivalent fraction for 2/4 that's smaller than 2/4? Just say it. 1/2. So this is 1 and 1/2. Very good, boys and girls. So how much is each piece worth, Ben? Or 1 and? Yes, 1 and 2/4 or 1 and 1/2. Now, we need to come over here and check. On your test, you will be asked to check, so you're going to have to know how to do it. So I hope you're writing all of this down. How do I check this answer? What do I need to do? Repeated what? Addition. So I need to take what number? 1 and 1/2 and add it how many times? 4 times. Let's think about it. This half and this half makes a whole. And this half makes a whole. So how many holes do we have so far? 2 holes. And then if we add our whole numbers, we have 1 plus 1 plus 1 plus 1 is 4, plus 2 more is 6. Were we correct?
Yes.
So what is our answer? I want you to even add the label to it. 1 and 1/2 bananas. Very good. Once you got this, flip over. Can I flip? Or is somebody still writing what I've got? Okay. Okay, we're going to keep moving. Julian has to read 4 articles for school. He has 8 nights to read them. He decides to read the same number of articles each night. Letter A says, how many articles will he have read per night? What do we need to draw first? Rectangle. Draw it. And how much is the whole thing worth? 4. Yeah, he has 4 articles, right? He's got 4 magazines, 4 books. He's got 4 of them. But how long does he have to read those? 8 nights. So how many times do we need to split that rectangle? 8 times. So split it into 8 squares. Now, my division problem. Trayvon? Yep, 4 divided by 8. 4 divided by 8. Four divided by 8. How would I write 4 divided by 8 as a fraction, Emma? 4 over 8. Very good. What's an equivalent fraction to 4 over 8 that's smaller than 4 over 8? 1/2. So how many articles will he have to read each night? 1/2 of an article. So 1/2, what's your label? Articles. Let's go over here and check. What do we have to do to check? Repeated addition. How many times am I adding 1/2? 8 times. Ooh, that's a lot. Make sure you have 8. Now, do I need to add those denominators? No, the denominator always what? Stays the same. Okay, now 1/2 and 1/2 is a whole. So 1/2 and 1/2 is a whole. So this 1/2 and 1/2 is a whole. And this last 1/2 and 1/2 is a whole. So instead of adding up 1/2 plus 1/2 plus 1/2 plus 1/2 plus 1/2 plus 1/2 plus 1/2, I can just add up my whole numbers now, right? 1 plus 1 plus 1 plus 1? 4. Were we correct? So how much is each of them worth? 1/2 an article. Okay? Do we have any questions? The next one, it says, what fraction of the reading assignment will he read each night? Well, how many pieces do we have up here? We have how many? 8 pieces, right? And these 8 pieces represents the 8 nights that he has to read, correct? Okay? Well, this is asking you, what fraction of the reading assignment will he read each night? It's not half of them. He has to read 1/8 this night, 1/8 this night, 1/8 this night. Because how many nights does he have to read? 8. So he has to read 8 nights, right? He has to read 8 nights total, correct? Well, how much does he read in one night? He reads 1/8 a night. Because this is day 1, this is day 2, this is day 3, day 4, day 5, day 6, day 7, day 8. Now listen, these two fractions are different because this one is asking about the what? The articles. So this wants to know how much of the article does he have to read. Well, how much of that article does he have to read to get through all 4 of them? He's got to read he's got to read half an article every night to get through all 4 of those articles, correct? To get through all 4 of those books, he's got to read half of it. Well, this question wants to know just in general, how much is he going to read every night? Well, how many nights did we just say he had to read? 8. So this is 8 total nights. This is only what? 1 night, right? So how much does he read in 1 night? He reads 1/8 a night. So it would be like if I drew a tape diagram and I split it into 8 pieces. Okay, I split it into 8 pieces. You with me? Now, again, this is not asking me about articles, is it? This only wants to know about how many nights he's reading, correct? So this whole thing would be worth 8. And it just wants to know about what? Each night. So how much does he read in 1 night? How much is each of these squares worth? 1/8. This is day 1, day 2, day 3, day 4, day 5, day 6, day 7, day 8. Does that make sense? So one of them is asking about articles. The other question is asking about nights. I will say, you won't have one like that on your test. So don't panic. There's not going to be a confused. That one had me tripped up for a minute. It's not. You won't have any confusing ones like that on your test. Okay? So don't panic. Let's get through this page and then we'll go to the bathroom and it'll be time for PE. Okay, y'all worked really hard. Okay, 40 students shared 5 pizzas equally. How much pizza will each student receive? What fraction of the pizza did each student receive? Well, first, I'm not even worried about the questions. I need to draw what? A rectangle. Now, am I going to split this rectangle 40 times? No, because that would be like I'm saying I'm splitting 40. I've got 40 pizzas and I'm splitting them 5 times. Is that what I'm saying? No, I'm splitting the pizzas, not the people. I don't want to split the people. We want to keep people together. Okay? But how much is this whole thing worth? Huh? 40. Why is it worth 5? You've got 5 pizzas that you have to cut up. You've got to divide 5 pieces equally between how many people? So this whole thing, you're right. You are right. He was right. We do have to split it 40 times. He's right. How many pizzas do we have total? We only have 5 pizzas. He's right. We only have 5 pizzas. This whole thing is worth 5. I don't have 40 pizzas. I have 5 pizzas. Now, I know we can't split this into 40 boxes, but what we can do is draw like this. 1, 2, 3. And then draw some. So I can do 1, 2, 3, 38, 39, 40. And those little dots mean everything in where? In between, yeah. He's correct. I wasn't paying attention. He's exactly right. So don't get confused. It's not always going to be the first number is the whole number and the second number is how many times you divide. You just got to read what your problem says and go from there. So it says 40 students shared 5 pizzas. Well, how many pizzas did they split between them? They had 5 pizzas. Okay? So what is our division problem for this? How many whole pizzas do we have, Nana? We have 5 whole pizzas. And Carter, how many times did you say we had to split them? 40 times. That's a whole lot of times to be splitting 5 pizzas. I hope they're good at cutting. Now, how would I write 5 divided by 40 as a fraction, Isaac? 5/40ths. So how much is each person going to get? 5/40ths. Does that sound like a very big piece of pizza? I don't really think so. Think about how big a pizza is, guys. You've got to split that pizza. Normally, a pizza is only split into 8 pieces. They're splitting each pizza into 40 pieces. That's real. So you're going to get like a little, like crumb by the time everything's said and done. Okay, so everybody's going to get 5/40ths of the pizza. Thank you for correcting me on that, Carter. Now, how many times would we have to add 5/40ths to check to make sure this is right? 40 times. Are we going to do that? We're not going to do that. That's too much. Yes, Nana? You could reduce it. How did you reduce that, Nana? You took 5 out of both sides. So she took 5/40ths. And she said, whatever you do on bottom, you also do on top. So she divided by 5/5 because doesn't 5 divided by 5 go into each other? You can do that, right? So 5 divided by 5 is 1. And 40 divided by 5 is what? 8. So we said 5/40ths. You weren't really getting very much. But now that we've reduced this fraction, if a pizza is split into 8 pieces, how many are you going to get? 1 piece. Okay, so either one of these will work. 5/40ths or 1/8. I'm glad that you caught that. Okay, Lillian had two 2-liter bottles of soda. She got some Dr. Pepper and some Mountain Dew, which she distributed equally between 10 glasses. How much soda was in each glass? Well, how many bottles of soda does she have? 2 2-liters. You know what this is trying to confuse you. A 2-liter is just it's the big ones, right? Yes. Okay, so it's not that it's got a whole bunch of them. It's just the big sizes. Okay, so we have 2 2-liters. It says first we need to go ahead and do what? Draw your rectangle. Now, if we have 2 2-liters, how many total liters do we have? 2 times 2 is 4. So how many total liters do we have? 4. What I'm saying is, here's 1 liter. Ooh, that's terrible. This is your Dr. Pepper. Shh. I'm not an artist. And here's your Mountain Dew. Okay, this one is worth 2 and this one's worth 2 liters, right? Okay, but if you add to see how many total liters you have, y'all don't have to draw that picture. You don't have to draw. I'm just trying to show y'all. Sorry. You have 4 total liters, right? Okay, so this whole thing, how many total liters is this whole thing worth? 4 liters. I'm going to write it at the top so that you remember. This is 4 liters. Now, how many times do we have to split those 4 liters of Dr. Pepper and Mountain Dew?
10 times.
Well, the Dr. Pepper is going to be mine, and then y'all can just have the Mountain Dew. Sound good? No, I'm just kidding. We have to split them 10 times. So how many squares do I need in this rectangle? 10.
So we don't have to draw the division problem?
Yes, we do. You don't have to draw this picture that I drew right here of my Dr. Pepper and Mountain Dew. Okay, now, our division problem. Nevaeh, what would our division problem be? Not 2. Remember, this is 4 liters. 4 divided by 10. Very good. And if I were to write 4 divided by 10 as a fraction, it would be, everybody say it, 4 tenths. Very good. So how much is each glass going to get? 4 tenths. Four tenths liters. Now, how would I check that?
Repeated addition.
Repeated addition. What am I adding? 4
Over 10.
over 10. How many times?
10.
10 times. Do I need to do that? No. Because 4 times 10 is 40. But if we have 4 liters, it would be the same. So we're good. Okay. Yep, we got just, bear with me. Real quick, express your answer as a decimal. How would you write 4 tenths as a decimal? Think about what I just said. 4 tenths. 4 tenths. 4 tenths. Isaac? 4 tenths. Nana? 0.4. Everybody say that number I just wrote. I want you to say it how it's supposed to be said. No, not 0.10ths. Just what? 4 tenths. Just 4 tenths. This number, you do not have to say the 0. This number is 4 tenths. Say it. 4 tenths. Did I say the 0? You don't have to say 0 and 4 tenths. You can just say 4 tenths. Okay? Because look, we just said our fraction was 4 over 10, right? That fraction is the same thing. It's also 4 tenths. Colt, I hope you're with me. Yes, Abby? Okay. It says, express your answer as a whole number of milliliters. We're not going to do that. Because we would have to pull out our chart of milliliters and liters, and we don't have the chart, so we're not going to worry about that. And we'll worry about number 7 later. Okay? So these can be